Ačiū tau. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining us in this session. I know that this is the last presentation, so I'll try to be very informative to make it practical and worthless. The first thing to introduce myself. My name is Mikas Jovaišas and I'm the head of strategy and business development at Lithuanian Post. Some of you may perceive Post as this pigeon, but some of you may already see the changes and that we wanted to become that drone. And a quick survey to get each other better. Who of you are from the public sector? Me. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 10, 15. Who of you are from IT department? Okay, majority. Who are from the business side? Project managers? Okay, 50-50. Perfect. But yeah, I'm the only postman in the house, I believe. Yeah. Okay, on a serious note, I would like to share today our first year experience of implementing Agile mindset, I should say, to PMO and Agile alignment with the public procurement procedures. So, since it's a tech project management conference, technology has a huge impact to postal industry. For example, as you can see, the mail volume declines rapidly, mainly because of all of communication is migrating to e-channels. Meanwhile, because of the e-commerce platforms, nice IT tools, e-shopping is booming and the volume of parcels is growing up. But technology is not only about the volume growing up or getting down. The main idea is that the technology changes the way we should organize our business, the way the customer should be served, the way our portfolio should be managed, and the whole process is aligned. So basically, we have a lot of multiple innovations going on in order to catch up with the market trends and to make our customers happy. You can see all of innovations or projects going on at Lithuanian Post at the moment. Stay tuned. In this quarter and in the next quarter, we will let you know what's happened. But to get a better view of complexity, what transformations are going on at the moment, I could point out the Mobile Postman project or transformation. In a few words, the whole idea is that we wanted to shut down the post offices at the rural areas, which are not profitable, and to replace them by Postman, which is equipped with a tablet, mobile printer, and all the equipment needed to do the same functions. And we have, to make this project running, we have 12 procurements. We have to develop one new IT system. We have to integrate it with other 6 IT systems. We have to train more than 500 people. Of course, we have attention from the politicians. And this is what the complexity of the projects at Lithuanian Post is. The same is with the automated sorting solutions, which we wanted to get implemented by the year 2020. Also the same story, a lot of procurement, a lot of IT platforms, training, and so on. I showed you these transformations not only to promote Lithuanian Post as a company, but mainly to show that all the projects are getting done at the same time, simultaneously. There are a lot of people, projects, teams, systems involved, and also, especially in our regulated area, we have constraints from the public procurement. So basically, it's a huge challenge for us, like a company, to capitalize on that market trends, on that changes, and to be with our solutions at the time. And mainly because of that we are struggling to catch up with the market, we thought of what we are doing wrong. And actually, we have very long time to market in the first place. And another one, we do not have a good internal procedures to validate and to implement projects. So basically what we thought of, we want to make our internal procedure better and to shorten the implementation time by running the public procurement in other way. So first things first, Agile PMO in public sector, I should say. The main principles. If we look a year back, we had some kind of procedures which allowed us to specify projects, to know which one is top priority, which one is not, but it was a bit fragmented and chaotic, I should say. This is the 5 principles that you have to have in our mind to be successful in a PMO. You have to have PMO which is centralized at a high level. You have to have qualified, trained, aware of huge transformations project managers. On the other hand, you have to divide roles between PMO and IT. This is also essential. I prepared a graph which is, I believe, more visual and more understandable to know. So basically, the companies have a lot of ideas, projects, business plans, whatever you call it. So if you look at that, we have around 200 inquiries of small, mid-size, and huge projects. But the company has limited resources, especially IT resources, which are very expensive. So we thought that not all things should be done right now. Some things are better, some things are worse. And we made a stage gate, which is a committee, contains of mid-level managers, business people, who validate the initial ideas. And I should say 80% of those ideas are kicked off, and only 20% of them are moved on. Because some are not strategically aligned, some doesn't have viable business case, some of them are added to already running projects. So basically we are doing huge transformations and moving on. So if it's approved by the first stage gators, then it moves to other ones. This is top level managers, 5 directors, who actually approve the project and assign resources. Because in our case, some projects contain investments up to 20 million euros. So basically, you have to make a huge commitment. What happens next? Then, when these projects are approved, we have a visible projects portfolio and different projects which have their own timelines and so on. But the main thing is that the company, starting from the top level to the back, to the down, they know what are the projects running and which is the top priority. This is the main thing. And when you look at IT, we didn't have that. IT wasn't prepared to run huge transformations simultaneously. So what we thought of, agile methodology, we did a restructuring. So basically we have now 5 backlogs or system teams who run the backlogs. We have product owners who are responsible for that. And they have communication between IT and project management office, very, I should say, sustainable and, how to say, precise. I will show in other slides how it works. So about the communication. The main thing what we wanted to do, I'm not an IT guy, I'm a manager, I should say, and I didn't want to know what are IT internal procedures. So we designed the hidden IT supply chain, which is like development, operations, support, coding, whatever. I didn't want to know what's happening inside. It's the part of IT managers. But what we did, this is the PMO organization, and we develop system teams, product owners, which are single contact points for organization and for product managers. And they can communicate about the projects, about the timelines, about the releases, about the delays, and everything, and communication goes like that. Organization also has a contact point to consult whether his idea or his release, when it's coming, is it viable, is it big, is it small? So basically, it's more or less communication cycle. And this slide is like in a more detailed way, but the same is here. We don't see operations, what's inside. We have system teams, which are assigned to projects. There could be some few system teams assigned to projects if it's a very hard project. And the main idea is that organization now knows whom I should contact to if I want a consulting, and the project managers know who they should contact to get information about his or her project and releases. We made up transparent backlogs. We made iterations like from 2 weeks to 1 month, and basically it is known for all organization that is happening. It's not IT only issue. Tool-wise, actually we are lagging behind. You can see the tools. We have the change request approval. It's our internal system. IT incidents, we have IT service desk internal. For the portfolio and projects, we use project management, MS Project. And for agile backlogs, MS Team Foundation Server. But actually, we now are in search for the single tool to cover the whole framework and to be the single source of the information. Because sometimes we get lost in the information and the conflicts happen because one has one information, the other guy has a different one. So, about the benefits. All the backlog should be transparent, should be visualized. Agile team makes a commitment which is visible, because otherwise we had some issues or conflicts with IT because they didn't commit it at all. So this visual transparency is the key to success from our side. What we should implement. The main thing that you have to say no to non-viable ideas, to small ideas. You have to have a decision to move with the big projects or transformations. It helps a lot for organization to align resources and for IT to align resources. Of course, you have to change IT structure if needed. We changed it. Actually, we flattened it. It is like system teams, which are pools of resources committed to 1 or 2 projects. Previously, it was very high hierarchy, project managers, IT support, I know, directors, and so on. So basically, it didn't work. It was a very high hierarchy. And when you think that you have the right setup at the company inside, you want the same mindset from the outsourced contractors or whatever. In our case, we have to buy services or with public procurement procedure. I know the public guys from the public sector knows what it means, but actually it is very bureaucratic, long procedure in huge transformations. For example, I should say, average procurement is around 6 to 8 months to be done. So speaking about monetizing something, you have to spend like 8 months just in paperwork and like thinking of. Some say that to procure or to buy Agile IT project is something impossible. It is possible. Actually, the government made some recommendations how to do that. We as Lithuanian Post and our IT guys actually commit a lot and share our templates, share our know-how, how to do that. And I basically will cover the key ideas of how it should be done. Yeah, you can take a photo. I don't know if it will be sent to you or not, but yeah, you can take that. Yeah, the key moment is how to procure, how to make this procurement Agile. So what in every case, you have to be prepared. You have to do analysis, business processes, what goals you want to achieve. You have to know everything in company inside. Yeah. Then you have to say what you're buying, the objects. So basically what you should buy: solution implementation and deployment, the first object. Other one is like buffer, I should say, for development and consultancy, which always happens. And the third one, support, which is needed. But the thing is that solution should be described as from the perspective of business processes and users scenarios, not like functions. For example, the postman comes to the client, he picks money, he enters something in the system, and then he gives some receipt. Like input, output, you should go like this. We have covered a lot of real cases. You can download the link and watch how we did it, and we can consult everyone who wishes that. How you should make a delivery plan. It is both, should be stated both in procurement and in the contract. So basically there are 4 stages: kickoff, analysis, releases, and closure. The kickoff. The main idea of the kickoff is like to align yourself with the partner, to agree on the rules, to agree on the schedule, and you should pay for that. Why? Because you give him money to run his operations, and you commit as a partner as well. Then you both do analysis, which do you not pay for. It could be up to 1 month. And then you start coding and releasing. In our case, we made the first release in 2 months. It depends on the scope. But actually, you should pay for that release, fixed price of money from, like percentage of the fixed price that you bought. And this could be trial usage with the business users. The other release is like to do the bug fixing, and you already can go live. I will show, in our case, how we did it. Then, yeah, you need to pay support because it's running live. You can have a real users, real feedback. You can do out-of-scope things from the buffer. You can improve usability and other things. And then you start releasing, and of course, at the end, you have to close the contract. You close the contract, and you leave only the support at your side. Success story from Mobile Postman case. We had 3 releases this year. Now we have 106 users, like Postman, going in the field, real users. And we're planning the 4th release in 2018, first quarter. Now the main thing, we launched, like the first release was in mid-May, and it contained the critical functions. So basically, we already could shut down the post offices and let the mobile postman work. And this already gave, for us as a company, 15% of the cost reduction. Meanwhile, the 2nd and 3rd releases added only 2% of the cost reduction. So we capitalized on early release, on early production stage as a company. And what we learned actually, that you can manage the risks at the very beginning, you can monetize early, you can do the bug fixing or like add other functionalities because the real users, they know, they give their real feedback. This is what we learned. On the negative side, you have to control budget actually very strictly. We spent all our buffer in 2 months because there was usability issues. I want this, I want that. So basically start programming, and in 2 months we didn't have any buffer, so we bought extra one. But in real case, you have to be tight on the budget. You have to control it. On the other case, of course, our public procurement authorities are not aware of Agile very much. So basically, we spend 1.5 months in discussions with them, if it's right procurement, can we buy like that? Is it legal? And so on and so forth. So we spend a lot of time. I believe you guys will spend it too. In 2-3 years' time, I believe it will be pretty quick. And yeah, actually suppliers, they commit that they are ready to work agile. From our side, we see that not fully. They don't want to be fully transparent. They have different methodologies. So basically, in a kickoff, you have to set the right rules, how you participate. And going in a contract like this, you have to find a partner, not a vendor, not a contractor. You should find a partner. And basically, this is the success case. So, the few things like takeaways, I should say. If your company is working at a dynamic market, wants to be flexible, wants to capitalize early, wants bigger profits, I should say, you should try to have internal procedures and on IT side, of course, more agile as possible. Because it helps to create value faster. We have real cases, and I believe in that. On the other side, the guys from the public sector try to buy things in the manner that I showed. Because it's possible, there are templates, we have to educate the market, we have to educate the authorities, and yeah, just do that. If you need consultancy, yeah, call me right away. So everything is in place, you need only commitment, guts to do that, and go forward. The other thing, commercial timeouts, actually, as we are in transformation, as I said before, internal structure, we are always searching for the right product owners, project managers, system admins. So if you want, just let me know, or let me know other my colleagues from Lithuanian Post, and we'll get in touch with you as well. So thank you very much, and I would more than glad to answer your questions, because I believe you will have ones. Thank you very much.
All right, questions?
A lot.
We have quite some time, so, go ahead.
Hi. You mentioned that you use Microsoft Project Server in Agile PMO. So how well it fits the Agile mindset?
Sorry?
How well the Microsoft Project Server fits with the Agile mindset that you wanted to implement?
Yeah, you have to tune it, I should say. It's not that, it's not the right tool, I should say, like in the Agile mindset. So as I mentioned before, yeah, we're now in search for the right tool, and actually the guys from IT and from PMO, yesterday they were in some kind of conference, and they now get the idea of the tool which could cover the whole framework and fit the Agile mindset. Yeah, but exactly, I should say the tool should be the single source of evidence, because we have a lot of tension and conflicts because of the different information in different sources.
More questions?
So on the same note, you mentioned about single tool, and if you were referring to IT service desk, like workflow management, project management, and also maybe task management. So do you have some ideas that there is such tool, and by the way, why do you need to integrate that with IT service desk in general?
Sorry, the second part of the question?
So why do you need especially that to be integrated with IT service desk? I can understand that workflow, projects, tasks, that's sure. Mm-hmm. How does IT service desk also function fits there?
Okay, I'll try to answer. Actually, they found something. Actually, it was yesterday. I don't have much information on that, but the main idea is, yeah, we can combine two tools. I don't know. You should look at how it's designed and what value it provides. Yeah, for example, to cover the workflow, you can use another tool. really. To have portfolio, project managers, tasks, I should say it should be in one tool, or at least in one single environment. So actually, you should have the most efficient and way to select the tools. It could be two tools, but they should not be compromising each other. Yeah, but if I'll find a tool which fits all, I'll let you know maybe. You can catch me up later. Thank you.
Hi. I want to ask you about Agile PMO. All the time you mentioned that it is Agile PMO. Maybe you can tell a few main differences between non-Agile PMO and Agile PMO.
The main difference is, actually we call like Agile PMO, but only it's because of the mindset. We had to do a lot of training and still doing that to get that Agile how to say, knowledge from the strategy level to the implementation level. And we try to organize our work like that. Project managers are asking IT guys how the work is organized, and it's organized in iterations. So basically the project managers should know what is Agile. The guys like me, I'm also aware that we have from 2 weeks to 1 month iterations. And then we can shape the company, how it performs, what are release dates, how to plan. So Agile PMO is more or less about the mindset, not about the tools. It's more about the culture.
I got a quick question about procurement. Mm-hmm. So if I wanted to sell something to a post office today, how my experience would be different if I wanted to do that, let's say, 5 years ago?
Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Yeah. Okay, yes. I wanted to ask about procurement.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to sell something to post office today, how my experience would be different if I wanted to do that, let's say, 5 years ago?
Okay. Your experience, all right. I know. From your side, I bet you will experience more bias specification, because it will be more from the, in big blocks, based on usage scenarios. Various, like if we did some procurement like waterfall, we try to elaborate very deep on what the function should be and have a long list. But on the other side, we had those procurements and we had a lot of trouble with that, because you cannot specify the thing or the functions that will be only in 2 years' time, because the market changes a lot. So from your perspective, I should say, buying like this, going the procurement like this, you will discover a more biased specification, I should say. But then we are running RFIs, we are contacting with the providers, we are telling what we actually want to achieve, what's our goal, how the system should work. We are doing this pre-procurement stage anyways, yeah.
One more question. You mentioned that in order to implement Agile PMO, there were also structural changes in the organization. Yeah. So could you maybe just briefly, and if it's not confidential, tell what were the key changes that supported this kind of change?
Okay. So I should point out three main changes. The first, the PMO, project management in a PMO, they are centralized. Is a resource pool for every project, not only related with IT. Second one was IT structure that we flattened. We cut the middle managers, I should say, in that structure. So basically, there is planning division, production division, and support division. So basically, the planning division owns product owners. They do not have any project managers, which they had previously, and we define the roles. And the third one, in the business units, we discovered real, super users or business owners, which we can discuss with. So this is the success. Yeah, if someone kind of told you what he wants to do, so yeah, it's nonsense. Yeah, it doesn't work. So we made structural reform for that in various levels. Yeah.
We still have time for questions, if there are any.
Okay, thank you.
I see no hands, or is there a question?
I don't know, no. Anyways, you can catch me later on.
All right,
I
so
will be
thank
there.
you very much, and you can catch Mikas in the hall, yes.
Thank you.
Just before you leave, I would like to remind you that we're going to hand out prizes for feedback. So take the break to fill in our feedback form, the link to which you can find on your badge, and we're going to be handing some great books at the end of the conference. Ačiū labai. Čia toks mažas suvenyras.
Nu, kaip tavo dėgynas?